Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing great. I know only a few of us are here today. Everybody's outside enjoying a beautiful day. I hope everyone is. If you're on the East Coast, it is absolutely beautiful, at least if you're in New York. So I hope you are having a fantastic day. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Let me see who's in the chat. Hello, Patty and Karen and Teresa and Fancy and Lydia. Hi, Lydia and Dory. And I think that's us so far. Maybe more friends will join us. Who knows? It's a beautiful Saturday evening. People are probably, again, if you're on the East Coast, it's really pretty. At least if you're in New York. So I wouldn't blame you if you were outside enjoying this day. It was really hard. I was outside a while ago sitting in a little park in my neighborhood. It was very hard for me to come in and leave the park. And I was like, oh, I wish my computer's battery wasn't dead and I would just have done this podcast right in the park because I have to keep it on power it up or my battery it will just die. So anyways, hello. Oh, I see more people have joined us. Let's see, Angela and Jay Patterson. Hello, Karen M. Hello guys, welcome. I'm just saying hello. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, this is a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Harry, Meghan, Big Boy Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Pula Guy, the chickens, and the whole Invictus community. Oh my goodness. It is amazing, that community. And so we have embraced the the Invictus community as part of the squad. So welcome. And oh, hi, Bright Eyes PBJ. How are you? I see you just joined us. Welcome. And if you haven't already, please do what that little scrolly thing on the bottom says. Subscribe. Help us to build the channel. You can, definitely click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. And as this video goes on, please like and share. And at the bottom of your video, you might see a little scissory thing there. Please feel free to clip a piece of the video and share it if you'd like with a friend, etc. But anyways, how are you guys doing? Let me see. How is everyone doing? How was your day? Let's see. Karen M said, just saw the bike Archie is getting from the Invictus Games. So it is for Archie. I saw this little yellow bike, and I was like, someone at Twitter said that it might be for Archie, but I wasn't sure. And so, yes, hey, Archie's getting stuff. Everywhere Harry goes, Archie gets stuff now. So people need to give him stuff for Lily. So I guess Archie's going to get a little bike, a yellow bike from The Hague. Great day, Paddle. Oh, fantastic, Lydia. I'm so happy that you are having a great day. How is everybody else doing? How is your day going so far? Hopefully it's nice and bright and sunshiny as it is in New York. And yes, thank you, Lydia, for writing that. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. But anyways, well, today we know that today is the closing ceremony for the Invictus Games. And oh my goodness, I don't know if you guys have kept up with it. I feel like I've been stuck to my computer, or at least my pad, for like the last, 6 days, tweeting just about everything I could find about the games. And here is Prince Harry speaking, and this is a part of the if you hadn't seen clips of it, this is a part of the closing ceremony. I mean, that place is packed and so lively. So I mean, the family and friends and the audience who have been to The Hague this past week, I mean, they had a vibe going on that people are like, I have never seen that in an Olympic Games before, or any kind of games before, and it's not just, like regular people, like officials coming from other countries and stuff. They're all commenting like, what is this? This is amazing. And not only has the games itself been an incredible success, the Hague, the community, the town, the Hague, they were expecting approximately 70,000 people. They have 100,000 people showed up at the Hague, and it's just like 500 athletes, and those 500 athletes, the town got over 100,000 people showed up for the games. I mean, they blew it out, and so in every way possible, these games have been amazing. And not only that, there is some lady, I think from some kind of library culture something. I should have took a clip of it, but I was so excited to see it. She's like, please recommend Harry for the Nobel Peace Prize for these games. She's from the Hague as well, and I was like, yes, absolutely. Definitely Prince Harry, Nobel Peace Prize for these games, because I mean the games has come at such a time where the Olympics wasn't very popular, but at least not in the US. Maybe it was popular in other countries, but it was just, I think, probably the least watched Olympic Games ever. And so there wasn't really much excitement. And then you have this, and you had all this heart and love, and it just transcended everything. And so, so when she said like, yeah, Nobel Peace Prize, I was like, absolutely. I am definitely, definitely in agreement with that. Hi, Teresa. Teresa says, anyone else want to be snubbed like Harry? The king came and had a ball. Yes, I'm actually going to talk about that in a second too. A little while. But yeah, the British press were like, oh, the royal family, the Netherlands royal family snubbed Harry. He's not going to be able to stay at whatever palaces they have there, and and I'm going to show you, I don't know if you guys all saw pictures of it earlier, because it was all over Twitter, but it was just like, it was like, oh, he would not get a meeting with the king and all of that stuff. And when you look at these pictures, I'm telling you, King Willem looks like a fun guy. He was having a blast. Him and Harry were like besties, laughing and singing and dancing in their seats. It was just like, you go, King Willem. I'd never seen King Willem before other than the picture, but, first time seeing him in action, I was like, he looks like a fun guy. Absolutely fun guy. Hi, Prudence. Prudence says, hi, Petal and Pam. Wish you a speed. Oh, yeah, yes. Wishing Pam a speedy recovery. I listened to the replay. Hi, everyone in the chat. Happy Earth Day. Oh, thank you, Prudence. Same to you. And yes, we're wishing Pam a speedy recovery, because I know her shoulder stuff has been like a pain. And I'm glad she was able to share it with you guys yesterday, because I had wanted to share it. And she's like, no. So I'd be like, honor that. And so she was able to share her own, her own health issues or situation. So yes, major speedy recovery for Pam. So if only for her to get some peace when she don't have to use one finger and one, her thumb. So yeah. Hey, Church Nelly, welcome. Fabulous Friday, all. Good evening, Fox and 2 Cents and all the squaddies from South Carolina. Hello, Church Nelly and all our wonderful squaddies from South Carolina. And you know something? It's so funny. I'm glad you said Friday, because this whole day I thought today was Saturday. I think I probably would have gotten dressed tomorrow and go to church and wonder where everybody was. I thought today was Saturday the whole day. Oh my gosh, I think I'm losing my mind. Thank you, Church Nelly. My goodness, good Lord. I don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, moving on. I really thought today was Saturday. My word. Whew, Petal losing her mind. Anyway, so apart from the opening ceremony, and I'm sure Baron and probably the Duchess of Success may have covered this all up before. I didn't get a chance to look, listening on their podcast, but just in case you heard it, bear with us for the people that may not have heard it. Earlier this morning, it was announced the 2025 games is going to, well, at least it's the winter hybrid games, not like the regular games that they're having now. This will be the winter hybrid games in 2025, and it's going to Canada, Vancouver, Canada. And so it's so funny, like for some reason I didn't even know this part was coming up. And I knew, because I was like all rooting for New York and, for what is it, 2026. And so I didn't know about this part. And I was like, huh? This is awesome. So needless to say, next year, I guess we're all going to Germany, to Düsseldorf. And then 2015, we're all going to Canada. We will be traveling. We're like a whole traveling Facts and 2 Cents crew off to Canada and off to Düsseldorf so we can do our reporting from there. But this is so exciting. Not only did Harry mark the occasion, a Canadian PM, one of my favorite PMs. He's so handsome. But he also announced it, and with a video, and it's so exciting because one of the things I kept noticing with these games is how much support that they that the leaders of each country give to the veterans. And the sad part of that is the only country that really, I don't think I heard one word from Boris Johnson for his athletes. And every other prime minister or president have said something, or at least even in the case of our president here, he sent a whole delegation, And so it is just, I don't know. I mean, they hadn't said anything about it. And so if maybe they don't mind, maybe, I hadn't heard like any of the athletes say anything. They hadn't said anything about being upset that their government hadn't really said anything or even honored them or even recognized them. The people that did recognize them, definitely the Defense Department and the embassy, like the UK embassy to the Netherlands, definitely played a great role in supporting them there. But Justin Trudeau, he did a whole video how wonderful it is that that the Invictus Games, the hybrid games, will be coming to to Canada. I mean, he was just effusive. I mean, it was just like, we are just so grateful and happy, and and I'm gonna post the video. I forgot to post it of this, so you can see it. And it just, I am so blown away by Harry and his team from the Invictus Game. I mean, when Meghan talks about, all the long hours, late nights and early mornings that Harry spent, making sure these things were perfect, she wasn't kidding. Because not only they're planning the games now, they're also working on the one in Düsseldorf, and now they're planning this one. And it's just like, whoa, and so I don't know about you guys, but I'm just flat out impressed, so here it is, Invictus Game coming to Canada, Vancouver, Whistler. I'd never heard of that name before. I do need to go back after this and go check out Whistler and see what is that. I'd never heard. Of course, I heard Vancouver. And so this is part of what it says. As Invictus continues to adapt and evolve, I am extremely excited to announce that the Invictus Game Foundation has selected Canada to host the first ever hybrid games in 2025, said Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. The Invictus Games Vancouver/Whistler 2025 will offer a global platform to expand the range and profile of winter adaptive sports with deep respect. I am also pleased to share the games in Canada will be held in partnership with First Nations in the spirit of truth and reconciliation with the Indigenous communities. And this is so important because, they could have just gone in there and do their thing and, kind of like what the royal family do when they go on these, Caribbean tours, etc., or Commonwealth tour in the Commonwealth. They basically tell you they're coming and then you have to foot their bill, without much. And especially in the, we just saw the Shameless Offensive tour that passed, and even it's bleeding into this tour, that they don't really know or really take the time to research where they're going. And so this is so important because not only, the Invictus could have gone in and say, okay, First Nation, tell us what we need to do so that we don't disrespect the Indigenous communities in the areas that we're going to be using. Just tell us what to do. And, give us a list of things to make sure that we don't do that and make sure that we're respecting people. They could have just done that. But this is so Prince Harry. He didn't just do that. They are now partners. They are partnered with First Nation so that that community can be involved in the games. And I just think that is so important and such a lesson for the royal family. You don't just go in and tell people you're coming. You build a relationship first. You respect them, you build a relationship, you find out about them, you partner with them so that they're part of what you're doing, and again, why the royal family is stupid to to have let Harry and Meghan go. I mean, talk about Harry is a first-class diplomat. And so that's why everybody's like, I can't believe these royals allow Harry and Meghan to go. These people are diplomats. They could build those bridges. And so that's why I'm so happy about this, because, how so many times, people, hello, this US was built on that. They barged in, kill off the Native Americans and then claim the land as theirs. And so I love what he said, in the spirit of truth, and reconciliation with the Indigenous communities. And I really absolutely love that. And not only did they do that, this part just goes into some of the different sporting things that they will be doing, that they're going to be incorporating apart from what they did this time, or what they always have, like, with the wheelchair basketball, the wheelchair, sitting volleyball and the swimming and all of that stuff. They're going to, include skiing, like alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, skeleton, wheelchair curling and all of that. And they're going to add all of that to what they already have. And so I just think it's absolutely, absolutely fantastic. And not only did they do that, when I looked at Twitter, I realized I saw this, I went on their, the site, Invictus Games site, and realized this is 2025, like, just under 3 years, they already have a save the date. And it's just like, seriously, you have a save the date already? And it's just, I'm telling you, I have been just so impressed with just how on point this team is. I mean, they are just on the money, apart from all the things that they incorporated into this game. The fact that they had the presence of mind to put together a save the date for February 6th to 17th in 2025, I'm like, that is impressive to me. Maybe not to other people, but it's impressive to me. It's like, wow, that's amazing. And another thing that was really impressive to me was they didn't just, have like the First Nation there. They also partnering with the Patriot Love Foundation. I guess this is all part of that same community, is that they didn't just do that. They and I don't know if you were able to see the gentleman at the podium. He had like the Native American, Native American, the indigenous, I guess, the headset, the headwear, and so they invited him to be a part of the reveal today. So he was a part of the ceremony with Harry and it was just, I'm like, that is how you do things. You invite people in to be part of what you're doing. And the Patriot Love Foundation, like, we are beyond thrilled to have won the bid to host the Invictus 2025 in Vancouver and Whistler, the tradition territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and I don't know how to say those other names, but you can see it on there. The Lillooet Nation, Squamish Nation, Whistler, and the Tsleil-Waututh, Vancouver. So again, I love the fact that they didn't just say, okay, we're teaming up with these organizations in and around the Vancouver area, but we're going to invite them to the ceremony as well so that they can be part of the reveal. And I'm telling you, those are special things. They're little things, or at least seem little things, but they are so special because they would not forget that, And so I am just so very much impressed and looking forward to being a reporter. I've convinced myself that I'm going to, let me rephrase that. Being a journalist, I've convinced myself that I'm going to be a journalist. And so I'm going to be a journalist at all the upcoming Invictus Games, as long as the Lord gives me strength and keeps me alive. So that is my thing. Y'all can hold me accountable and ask me, how is my journalism training going? That would be really, really nice. I'm like, hold me accountable that I'm getting training. So let's see. I'm just going to check the chat a little bit. Joan says, Canada is so easy for us to get to from the US. Yes, it absolutely is. And so that's why it's so exciting. But I think Vancouver, if I remember, Vancouver is more like a little bit West Coast, right? So we have to, it's a little easy, I think, from the West Coast because at least I'm East Coast. So at least I don't really know my map very well. But I think that's what I remember, Vancouver being more like it's easier from, say, California to get there than New York. So, yeah. Jay Patterson, what was that? She says, OMG, 2025 Vancouver, my part of the world. Sorry, but wait, you're in Vancouver? Oh, you're in Canada. That's awesome. But, I'm still holding out hope for 2026, like the New York part. That's the part, we don't have skiing in New York, so they, at least not in Manhattan anyway. So the winter hybrid games wouldn't work well in New York at all. It'd be like skiing on the street of New York with some fake snow. That wouldn't work. But so no, we're going for the regular games, which I think they're still up in the air as to which city is going to have it. So I am still holding out hope for New York. And I know our Scotties are still holding out hope for Texas. No. So, yeah. Lydia said, it's sad the UK did not support their... I know. I'm like, there's so many inspirational stories coming out from Team UK. I kept, tweeting and retweeting everything I could find from them. It was just like, oh, God. Why do you have the people that you have? Why do you have the government that you have? You deserve so much better, Even though I rag on the UK, I'm not, these are veterans. I am like, I protect veterans. I don't care where you're from. Veterans are veterans, you support your veterans and your active duty soldiers. That, for me, that is like, I don't care what you're doing. Those are who you support. So, yeah. But anyway, moving on. And so this squatty today, actually, she put together this thing, and I stole her, Rebecca_Sussex. She wrote this. So I was like, okay, I got to give Rebecca some credit. But she's the one that put together this little picture thing with Harry with Justin Trudeau and Meghan with Justin Trudeau. And for the people who like to think that Meghan just, fell out of a turnip truck and jumped into Harry's life, it's like, no, Meghan had a relationship with the prime minister long before she knew Harry. She also is very good friends with his wife, actually, as well. So, but it's great that the both of them have their own individual relationship with him. And so it'll be very exciting. Again, Canada was the first place Meghan was introduced at the Invictus Games there. So it's going to be a little bit of a coming home. And wait a minute, wasn't Vancouver where they were when they moved, when, they left the royal family, when they left, senior royals and went on vacation in that house? Wasn't it Vancouver? I think it was Vancouver. Coming to think of it, I was like, oh, maybe I'm getting my cities mixed up, but I think it's Vancouver where they were. So perfect. Absolutely perfect. And she went on to say, I guess someone posted on her Twitter, they said, I love the fact that Harry checked with the indigenous people and worked with them and even partnered with them for the games. And it's kind of like what are we saying? It is just very it's impressive, and it's really, the heart of someone who actually care about not only the people he's bringing in say the athletes and the vets, but the people in the community that they're going into. They are sensitive to the needs, and they're sensitive to the atrocities that was done to them, and all the racism and all that stuff that they have had to endure. They are sensitive to it and partner with them so that they can feel the love as well. And so I definitely love that. And not only that, the mayor of Vancouver tweeted about it. He was all excited. He's like, I'm so proud that Vancouver has been selected to host the Invictus Game 2025 in partnership with Whistler. And I'm going to go search out Whistler. For the first ever winter edition of the Invictus Games could not have taken place anywhere else, if he may say so himself. Welcoming veterans from all over the world is such an honor. And I love that attitude. It's like, my city is the only place this could happen. Kudos to you. So it is just, and he posted this long letter thing that I'm not going to read, but you guys, I'm going to put links in the show notes for it so that you can take a look at it if you'd like to read it. But I just love the energy, and I love the attitude that they are just so welcoming. And I'm like, you go Canada, And one of the things too that I was also looking at is the people that went to the I keep saying the Olympics, to the Invictus Games, and just their reaction to what they saw there. And this man, Andrew Parsons, he is the president of the International Paralympic Committee. So yeah, they are used to doing these kinds of games for for the physically disabled, etc. And he said, this was actually, I saw a tweet about it, and then I went on their page, and this was on their page. It says, the IPC president impressed by Invictus Games. The International Paralympic Committee president, Andrew Parsons, said he was left greatly impressed and further empowered at the role sports can play in transforming lives of persons with disabilities for the better after attending Invictus Games, The Hague 2020. Andrew Parsons, IPC president, says it was truly fantastic and humbling experience to attend the Invictus Games and to witness firsthand the transformative role sports is playing, not just in the lives of the competitors, but also family, friends, and family. The family festival atmosphere at the event was exceptional and like nothing I have experienced previously at a sports event. And I am telling you, I don't know if you guys, I'm hoping that everyone has had a chance to, witness whether it's the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, say the finals of the basketball, the finals of the the sitting volleyball or the rugby, whatever it is, I'm telling you, the energy in that place is like nothing I have ever heard, I have ever seen. I mean, at the end of the game, what's her name? Rachel, I think, from the team UK. She started a conga line, so they all were in the, on the playing area in a conga line. I mean, it was madness. It was the most fun thing that I have seen. And we were talking about King Willem a few minutes ago, and you should have seen him like dancing in his seat, because you can't, I mean, the energy of that place was unreal. So when he said that, that it was an experience like he had never experienced anything like that, is, and again, I hope that you were able to see at least something on maybe on YouTube that have clips or some highlights of of these events. And so yeah, it was really incredible. So I don't know, let's see, I'm checking the chat to see what you guys are saying. 98, let's see, 1998 champion says, hello squaddies, what a week. The game soon will be on par with the Olympics and Special Olympics. I'm telling you, I think it's there. It's definitely, I've watched Olympics before, and I have never seen this kind of energy. I have never seen this kind of love, and I've never seen this kind of impact, and just it just blew people away. And so yeah, I totally. Lydia says it's an amazing amount of planning that goes into all this. Yeah, that's why when Meghan said, she saw the late nights and the early mornings that Harry spent trying to make it perfect for everyone. When you see the kind of things that they have done and implemented in this game, he's like, yep. What she said is so true, because that kind of stuff don't happen overnight. Hi Robert. Robert says, hi Pedal and fellow squaddies, joining in from Rome. It's early Saturday morning. LOL. You see, Robert, I think what it is today that I was on Rome time. I think that's what it is. Because I don't know if you heard what I was saying, that I thought the whole day, I thought today was Saturday until I saw Church Nelly's post that it was Friday. The whole day I thought it was Saturday. So I think I'm on Rome time. So I think I'm okay. I think I'll stay in Rome. So yes, but yeah, no, it is. Oh my goodness. Diane, hi Diane Hawkins. Diane says at church. Oh, sorry, at church. I thought that hospital bed event was perfect. We're gonna get to that in a second too. But yes, absolutely. I mean, where have you ever seen stuff like that? It is amazing. But this is the Paralympics president. Here he is hanging out with Harry at one of the events. And so he, again, was incredibly impressed. And, talking about people supporting different organizations, supporting their veterans, the U.S. delegation has been amazing. I mean, a lot of the things that I've been tweeting has been from the U.S., the U.S. delegation, whether it's the armed forces, whether it's, Invictus Team U.S., or there's a whole bunch of Fisher House. They were all over these games. I mean, they had their Twitter game on point. And so, or forces.net, all of them, I mean, it was on point. And so a lot of the things I tweeted back was all of theirs. And they, and here they are, the U.S. Army Lieutenant General for the Defense Health Agency, and then Sergeant Major Michael Gregg, who's also from the agency. Really, this was actually a video that they were just really effusive with their support for the veterans. And also NATO sent a team to the Invictus Games, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Yep, the NATO sent a team, and this is one of their reps with Prince Harry. He's the deputy chair of the NATO Military Committee, Lieutenant General Lance Landrum, and it was him and then other military representatives from several allied partner nations. And it was just like, whoa. So a whole bunch of them were there. to the Invictus Games. And I'm telling you, when that lady said Harry for the Peace Prize, look, I think he's so worthy of this. For them to set this up and NATO to be like, no, we're sending, a lieutenant general to and a delegation really to go to the games, and it was amazing. It's amazing, and so it just if before the game started, I knew it was important. I knew, it was important for the vets and all of those things, but I didn't know just how important it was to the leaders of these nations. So I knew our president, because, First Lady Jill Biden is right in there with the vets, right in there with those in active duty, and so is President Biden, because they've been to the they've been to the Invictus Games. I think all the Invictus Games. This is the only one they weren't at, and so I expected them to be there. And so but then there's a war going on, so they they sent a delegation. I didn't realize just how many other organizations that would really be in there and just be so supportive. And so I am just like, the fact that NATO would send their delegation in there, I was like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. And they said from several allied partner nations send a representative, and I was like, and look at Harry in his t-shirt, and here's the officer in his uniform. And it brings me back to thinking of how the royal family stripped Harry of where he can't really wear their uniform anymore, and look at, he doesn't need it. Harry's in a t-shirt, and he is no less welcome than no less thought of in his t-shirt, and it's just like, there was a picture of, I think it's the same officer. He was sitting in the back of Harry and looking at the back of Harry with such admiration, and someone quoted yeah, that's all of us squatties. Because it's like, here's this man with no, the royal family thought, let's strip him of his medals, because they're assuming that's the only way he would be, quote unquote, honorable. And look at, if you saw videos of the opening ceremony, closing ceremony, the moment they call his name, everybody rise. Well, at least, other than the ones who are in wheelchair and not able to do so, but everyone rise. And it's just like, yeah, that's the kind of man that you're looking at. He doesn't need your medals and all in your uniform. He's in a t-shirt and, or a regular jacket, and people still honor him. And I was like, you go, Prince Harry, let them keep their chocolate medals and give it to Edward, so, but I just think it's so much fun. And King Willem, I'm telling you, he's my new favorite Dutch person. I don't know if you guys remember when this all started, just before the game started, the British media and their trolls were stirring up this nonsense. I think we just talked about it, about that the King Willem would not meet Harry, that they're not going to stay in the palace and all that nonsense. And that basically the Dutch royal family, the Netherlands royal family basically has snubbed Harry. And that was the narrative. And they were all laughing and making fun of Harry. And then, a few episodes ago, I posted it, and I talked about it, where the Invictus page said when King Willem will be there. And they said he will be there on the last day. He'll be there for, the finals of the basketball and stuff. And then he will be there at the closing ceremony. And here is King Willem on the last day, posing with Harry. This is when they met. And here, I don't know who this guy is in the middle, but he's always there. I was like, who is this person? Nobody ever said who he was. He's just there. But King Willem is like, he is such a fun guy. Here he is with Harry, at the, I think it was the finals of the basketball, I think they were playing today. And, having a grand old time. Here they are. And it's just like, King Willem and Harry are besties. And so it's just, the British press. Anyways, moving on. Someone in the chat just mentioned about this this is one of those things that you're like, when someone is mentioned is like it's gonna be on par with the Olympics, the Invictus Games, and I was like, nowhere in the Olympics would you ever see this. Nowhere in any other games would you ever. I mean, maybe the Paralympics, maybe. At least I don't know that I've not watched the Paralympics, so I couldn't say someone has not been there in their bed. But this gentleman, Gilles Van der Steen, and I hope I'm saying Gilles' name correctly, but he was part of the basketball team, and he up until last week he was part of the basketball team, and something happened and he had to have surgery, and he couldn't be part of the team that's playing. And so he was like, but I want to go support. And he had them, I mean, the guy's in the hospital, he had them wheel him there and wheel him on the center of the court so he can support his team. And I was just like, oh my goodness, where are you ever going to see this? And it's just like, I just thought that was the most amazing thing, and I don't know how sick he is and how serious, well, obviously it's serious because he couldn't play and he's still in the hospital, but, and I'm hoping that he heals shortly, but I'm like, this is like, just like when I saw them, because I saw there was a video of them wheeling him from the outside, and then I saw then I saw him on the inside on the court, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that is just like, I guess they got him from the hospital, put him in an ambulance in his bed, and wheeled him there, and I just think it's the most amazing thing ever, and it says play was held up at the Invictus game on Thursday by a late arrival of a wheelchair basketball. Gilles Van der Steen, a mainstay of the Dutch national side, had to make a late withdrawal from the tournament after he was hit by illness and forced into surgery. But as his teammates prepared for tip-off at The Hague, the former Marine was escorted onto the court in his hospital bed so he could share the moment. The Netherlands went on to beat Canada 23-10. How could that not inspire you? I mean, if you had any doubts or anything that was like, oh, we may not be able to beat Canada, that would go out the window the moment you see your teammate wheeled in on a hospital bed, And he goes on to say, it was an incident that summed up the event, which has been staged this year for the 5th time. It sees former service people who experience life-changing injuries in the line of duty compete in a number of adaptive sports. The Invictus Games is not short on spirit, endeavor, or camaraderie. And in the Netherlands this spring, the events end on Friday, and it goes on. It's grown in scale and prominence once again. And what else can you say about this? I just think it's the most amazing thing. And I don't know if you guys realize, Barrett and those guys may have talked about this before, but just in case you didn't realize, when Harry did this video, when he was learning Dutch, that gentleman in the circle red, that is Gilles. That is him who is on the hospital bed. So when you saw Harry in the picture, Harry knew him, obviously, because, he was the one that was helping Harry learn Dutch. And I love Harry in his orange outfit. But that is Gilles. That is who is on the hospital bed. And it would have been, I could imagine it was such a shock for Harry to know that someone that, he was just, working with, making this video with, all of a sudden is wheeled in on a hospital. I mean, I'm assuming, or maybe he knew about, about his surgery and all of that before, but I just thought it's just fantastic. I mean, it was just like not fantastic, but it was just so emotional and just so amazing that he just wanted to be part of it and be there to encourage his team. And these are more pictures of him. And I'm assuming with the little baby there, I'm assuming that maybe his wife and baby. I mean, it's like a tiny newborn, you know. And it's, you know, and this is a picture, a little bit, the bottom picture, a little bit more of his hospital bed, which is really odd beds. But I just like, I don't know, that just moved my heart in a whole bunch of different places. So it just yeah, it's, oh, that I mean I was just like watching that forever. I was just like, I can't believe he did that. So it just, yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat before I moved on. Oh, Robert. Sorry, I'm running back to Robert. He says, you know, Harry's become the master at stagecraft. Imagine getting the permission of the indigenous tribes before choosing Vancouver Whistler. Justin Trudeau, take note. Okay, I don't know what's going on with Justin Trudeau and the tribe there, but yeah, it is something. But I think, you know, that is Harry. Harry has a knack for people. That's why I think he is the best diplomat that England had and they got rid of. And he's a people person. I mean, if you've seen photos and videos of Harry with people, you know, even with squatties running up and screaming, take a picture, take a picture. There's a video of squatties doing that. That was on the BBC, no less, with squatties running up to him and like hugging him, take a picture with him and JJ, and they hug JJ as well. Yeah, but that's who Harry is. He's a people person, and I think that's why people love him so much. And just the moment they meet him, they feel like, well, I know Harry, you know, because that's who he is. So I'm not surprised he's able to do that. Catherine says the U.S. team will be at the White House. Oh, that is so. I'm not surprised. You know, I am not surprised. The U.S. team did really well, so I'm like, yes, you know. But of course, the Bidens are really in with the vets, in with active servicemen and women. So I'm not surprised at all. See, Prudence says, big up to all the veteran prayers or prayers, okay, and blessings to all who have traveled back to their various countries. God's guidance, yes, absolutely. And just, you know, a reminder that a lot of the players on the Ukraine team, they were on active duty. They were taken off the front lines and allowed to come to the Invictus Games and are now going to go right back to fight for their country. So please, 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 let us all keep them in our prayers. That is a terrifying thing. And that young lady whose mom is missing, as far as we know, she is still missing. So it is much prayers needed, and much prayers for the vets as well. Again, you know, this has been a high. And so when you have struggles, whether it's depression, PTSD, whenever, you need to come down from the high in a safe manner. So, and apparently, you know, they go, I guess, to a camp, whatever, and with therapists and, you know, whomever is there to help them to come down from this high in a safe place so that people don't fall into depression when they don't have that ready stimulation. So, yeah, so prayers for all the veterans. It just, yeah. And Reba says, hello, Pedal and Sussex Squad. Invictus has been powerful. Yes, it has, Reba. Congratulations to all our veterans. Yes, 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 yes. Let's see. Hi, Sylvia. Sylvia says, Pedal, so many of our vets are suffering after Afghan war. Kuwait, even Vietnam. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I mentioned a few episodes ago, I through working with the play A Piece of My Heart, where we did that play a lot because it's about women who served in Vietnam during the war. We worked a lot with vets, and a lot of them still have PTSD. Some of them still cannot. I know one of them cannot deal even to this day with fireworks. July 4th is a nightmare for her. Some of them still, they can't listen, they can't hear the sound of helicopters. It's one person, she decided like she cannot have children because the shower that the hose that they would use to shower was also used to spray Agent Orange. And so she's definitely afraid. Now she's way past childbearing years, but when she decided to not have children because she didn't want, just in case some, that she had that's still in her, that would pass on to a child. I mean, this stuff like this is real, and so a lot of them are still suffering with all kinds of traumas, even as far back as the Vietnam War. So yeah. At least, and again, when they came home from Vietnam, they didn't have the kind of help that these vets now have. So so it is a thing. Oh, Lottie, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. So let's see. Moving on. I just love this. I know we talked about this. I think it was the last episode about that yellow bench. And then we also saw Prince Harry with Team Netherlands and also Team Ukraine painting one. And here's Harry, having a conversation with the CEO of Invictus of The Hague on their yellow bench. And one of the things, the city has allowed them to keep the bench there and to keep it yellow as, I guess, a symbol. And again, the bench is for people to go and sit and have conversations, just as the bench in the Miu can see, where people go and get help. And so this is where you can go and sit and have a conversation with a friend or with a stranger, someone needing to talk. But I just think it was fantastic to see Harry sitting on it, and I expect to see this in the documentary. You guys, that documentary is going to be lit. The Heart of Invictus is going to be amazing. So I am like, oh, I can't wait. Because again, we've only got the little scraps of videos, and not the whole thing. And so I am very excited to see what the Heart of Invictus is going to be, because I really just think it's going to be amazing. So yes, I think it's going to come out, they said, at the end of the year. So I expect somewhere at the end of the year that will come out. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And you guys remember who this is? Meghan Harry is there. It's so funny. He came in yesterday, and Misan is obviously, Misan, who took these photos of Meghan when she was pregnant. He used I still don't know how he used the pad and got, he was in London and they were in Santa Barbara, and they used the pad and he took these photos remotely. And I was like, Misan, I need to figure out how to do that. So I am very jealous as a photographer. I'm like, how did you do that? So show me your trick. So he is there, and so he did he was doing a lot of photography, and along with Chris Jackson and the others. But it's so great to see, because he's a really great friend of Meghan and Harry's, and so it was really great to see them hang out. They were hanging out at some games yesterday and also today as well. And Misan was also at the closing ceremony. So the videos I saw of the closing ceremony was actually by him. So it's like, yeah, Harry's peeps are there, And I was thinking, it's like Meghan left, and I was like, poor Harry's gonna be all by himself. But Harry wasn't by himself, because Misan was there, and apparently some of Harry's buddies from school were there. Those friends that the tabloids claim that Harry abandoned all his friends because Meghan is this shrew, and Meghan, is this difficult person where she kicked all Harry's friends away and forced him to drop all his friends. Well, Harry's friends were in The Hague hanging out with him, and it's just like, along with JJ, they were all at, I guess, at some kind of pub or something yesterday. And it was just like, yeah, this is the lies. Yeah, unbelievable. But I'm just happy Harry had friends who were there to, support him while Meghan is with the kids. And so, changing the subject a little bit, So we know. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the over the cliff behavior of the British press. I mean, we talked a bit about it yesterday. How it's gotten so bad where Eamon Holmes is basically threatening to throw, or at least suggesting they throw Harry and Meghan off the balcony. And then some other crazy one, someone posted a clip or some crazy person writing for the Daily Mail, I think, basically called Harry an assassin. And it just like, oh God, I don't, I will never understand Shutter Island. I would never understand the mentality of, they are such brutish thugs. I don't understand how these people have press passes. I never would understand how they have a press pass. But it's like they hire thugs to be in the press. That's the only way I could explain it. And I keep, there are a couple of reporters who keep, they're all tweeting about it, and they're very vague, and they're commenting on it and saying how wrong it is and all of that stuff. And I keep tweeting at them. I'm like, unless y'all decide to call these people out by name and be specific about what it is you're talking about, this will go on until they get somebody killed. It's time, like, y'all stop being vague about these tweets and be specific and call them out by name. So that they would, not that they have any shame, but they would, the minute you call them out by name or you definitely identify them and they always, come up and then try to defend themselves or try to deny whatever, but at least you get their attention. Any kind of vague tweets where people are tweeting and posting and writing articles where it's a threat, you have to be direct about it and you have to be strong and loud about it. And so I'm like, unless y'all do that, I don't even want to see your tweet, because it doesn't mean anything. You're just tweeting for tweeting's sake, so anyways, this is where we are. And so, and the whole thing, I mean, the whole big thing is hinged on Prince Harry saying that he's there to make sure the Queen is protected and that she has the right people around her. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole, I mean, I don't understand how saying that you want to protect your grandmother and make sure that she has the right people around her to make sure she's safe, she's 96, will cause someone to get to the place where they want to throw you off a balcony. Like, I don't even understand that thinking, but that's where they are. And which is interesting because we mentioned this yesterday, 2 months ago, the 19th of February, 2 months and 3 days, 2 days, the Telegraph literally wrote the same thing. With all eyes on the rest of the royal family, who is looking after our Queen? Somehow, Her Majesty appears to have been left without care and attention to detail that has been until now a bulwark of her reign. Here is the Telegraph sounding the alarm. Clive Irving writing, who is taking care of our Queen? Literally the same thing Harry just said. And nobody paid attention to it. And there was no outrage. And then he went on to say, it had all the, whatever event it is that she, engagement that she was a part of, they were doing a video of that event. And it says it had all the ingredients of a heartwarming celebration. Yet, it turned out to be possibly the worst staged royal video appearance ever seen. Sitting in a velvet armchair, a desk before her, and a reassuring smile on her face in the wake of her recent hospital visit, that was right after she came out of the hospital, the Queen seemed strangely marooned in the middle of the room. Unlike the perfect thought-out setting of her Christmas broadcast, this one seemed hastily thrown together. At one point, the camera even zoomed in and out to reveal Her Majesty's legs and foot placed awkwardly under the table. And it's just like, that's why he's like, that's not normal. The queen, whenever they present the queen, and like I was saying yesterday, like I don't know about you, and I don't see a whole lot of pictures of the queen, but the pictures that I've seen of the queen, I've never even seen a hair like out of place or whatever. She's always seemed put together. But this wasn't the case. And here he is 2 months ago sounding the alarm that somewhere along the line, this is the worst stage video that, he even referred to the video in another part of the article that it looks like some like handheld thing, maybe like someone used the phone or something. So it was like bad quality. And then it said the camera zoomed in and out and her legs was placed awkwardly under the table. And it's like, it was an alarm bell went off in his head. So if an alarm bell would go off in a stranger's head, why would it not go off in her grandson who loves her dearly, who may have seen that video? Why would it not ring an alarm bell in his head? That maybe something is wrong. Maybe somebody isn't doing their job and Queen Betty is not being taken care of the way she needs to be taken care of at Windsor Castle. It goes on to say, how on earth did this happen? Around the world, the staging of the British royal appearance is normally held up as a model for projecting the grace and stature expected for the head of state, with the production values that could rival any Hollywood film set. If it left a royal watcher with a worrying feeling that the queen has somehow been left without care and attention to every detail that had been until now a hallmark of her reign. Such lapses were unimaginable before they actually happened. Again, here he is, things like, what on earth? What on earth is going on? It's like she has been left without care. Again, if a stranger could notice this, why would her grandson not notice this? And if she was being cared for, how on earth did this happen? And they put it on, that's how clueless they were and not paying attention to her care, that they literally put this out there. They put it out, and it's just like, and so my thing with it is like, this, again, this was 2 months ago, he sounded this alarm. No outrage, nobody said a word. And this was Queen Betty. But her buttons of her coat is like misbuttoned, like one part of it hanging down, one part of her coat is choked up on her neck with the buttons all over the place, and then I think it's like varicose veins or something. She has that on her legs. And I think that's probably normal for people her age. But so again, I don't know, but she looks like, this is not the queen people, are used to. Look at her coat. And so for a grandson seeing this, why would he not be concerned that they're not taking care of her? And not only that, actually just saw last night, there was an article that was written for, I think, Sky News, and I'm going to post it in the show notes, where between 2019 and 2021, there have been 470 crimes that happened at Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, St. James Palace, and Clarence House. 470 criminal activity that has been reported to the Metropolitan Police that took place at all 4 of those places. And so if you as a family member know this, and as a grandson know this, why would you not be concerned? And why are we only finding out that the only reason that I think Sky News found out is that they had to probably take them, what is that I forgot what it was called, that Information Act, that the press could petition the court to get information from the police that they don't want to give. And so the Sky News had to do that to get this information. 400, and guess what? This happened, they posted this yesterday. It has probably, I don't know, when I looked at it today, there were only like 50 likes to it. Nobody wants to touch it. No one wants to touch this article because nobody care. They want to think of the queen as, this godlike figure who nothing will happen to, but yet nobody wants to check the fact that there were 470 crimes that happened at these palaces where the queen could have been a victim of some of them. And I don't know that she was, but she's there. So it is just yes. Moving on. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Just stop a second, take a breath. Sylvia says, just think how it would look that Harry had to take his family out of the UK to save their lives. The royal family and the UK media need to take a seat and face the wall. And I absolutely agree with you, Sylvia. I absolutely agree with you. Because to save their lives, he had to get them out of there. And I believe, again, and I think I said it last night, I believe, honestly, Harry loves his grandmother. And if she wasn't the head of state, Harry would have stole her out of that country. And if he could still do it, I'm sure Harry would want to figure out a way to get his grandmother out of there. Because something is not right in that place. Something ain't right. And again, I'm not a fan of Queen Betty, but she's an elderly person, and I wouldn't want something, nefarious happen to her. I wouldn't want her to get injured or, anything bad to happen to her, in spite of my feelings to, her, whatever she's been doing with the monarchy. But that aside, she is a human being, and you don't want to know, that anyone was, put in a dangerous situation or be in an abusive situation. And again, I don't have proof that anything happened to her, but you don't want, you want to do everything you can to make sure that is not the case. So, which brings me back to the ridiculous behavior and the ridiculous reactions to that some of the people in the press has been, spouting for the last couple of days. So anyways, let's see who else is talking about it. Let's see. Lottie. Hi, Lottie G. Lottie says, Harry is the man. I've always had had some respect for him. He's just like his mother, and Lord knows I love his mother. Yeah, Harry is Diana. It's like Diana has, put herself and embedded herself in her son. Definitely. CMAP says, hi CMAPs, says King William Alexander secretly was a pilot. Oh, really? Was a pilot for KLM Airlines for 2 years. He's a great guy, hardworking. I'm telling you, there are, other than the photos that I posted here, there are some photos of him and Harry. We're having a grand time. I mean, they look like besties. And he was dancing to the music and all of that stuff. I was like, you go, King William Alexander. I was just like, that's like one of my new favorite people. Totally a bestie. I could totally see him could be like Harry's new big brother. So hello, Daniel. How are you doing? I hope you are doing good. Hello. Let's see. Let's see who else is chatting before we move on. Oh, Lottie, I'm coming back to you. Lottie's like, I wonder how does William feel watching his brother get all the I'm assuming attention and the love and the respect and the all. Yes, it would be interesting. The one thing I know, there will be incandescence and there will be rage. That I do know. Yes, exactly. There will definitely be some incandescent with rage happening in the Kensington Palace or wherever he's supposed to be right now. So yeah. So moving on, I saw this. Somebody posted this on Twitter. And this is Party Pieces. This is Kate Middleton's family. They have this party store. And their Party Pieces store is selling, if you're planning a street party to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee, then our charming Great British Party Ranges is a lovely option. That's right. Kate's family are selling platinum jubilee trinket things for, and it's like, someone posted about this and I thought very, very, interesting what would have happened. What if Mama Doria decided that she wanted to sell, platinum jubilee, whatever thing that is associated with the monarchy? What would the press say if Mama Doria was to do something like that? And to this day, there has been zero crickets about Kate Middleton's mother using her connection. And obviously everybody knows Party Pieces is, Kate's mama's and daddy's business, selling platinum jubilee things. And it's like, oh Lord, the hypocrisy. But moving on. Yes, we have come to our, oh gosh, I keep forgetting my little banners, but let's see. Oh, yes, let's, our Charmless offensive ones. That's right. Sophie and Edward are on their way to another Charmless offensive tour. And no sooner did, they were getting their bags packed and all of that stuff yesterday, we have this that came out. Prince Edward and Sophie Wessex canceled part of their Caribbean tour as their country removed from their itinerary. And it is just, I'm like, when will these people learn? And, it goes on to say the royal couple had been due to visit Grenada as part of a 6-day trip starting on Friday, today, that will see them visit a number of countries in celebration of the Queen Elizabeth Platinum Jubilee year. It was announced on Thursday that Grenada has been removed from the itinerary with no official explanation as yet. And that was at the time they posted, they had no official explanation. And going on, I'm just going to keep reading so we get to the thing. However, in spite of no explanation, it says, however, it comes days after fresh details emerge regarding Britain's role in the enslavement of Black people on the island nation while it was a colony. Research commissioned by the Bank of England in the wake of Black Lives Matter demonstration in 2020 recently revealed that the ownership of 2 plantations and 599 people was transferred to the financial institutions in early 1770s. Though the Bank of England had previously apologized for its historical links to the slave trade, this insight regarding its direct ownership of Black people has caused upset among Caribbean diaspora, and in particular descendants of those who were enslaved under the regime which dealt in trade of sugar, coffee, and Africans. Grenadians, well, just about every Black person, especially if you're in the Caribbean, are up in arms because this is a thing that just, the museum just opened, and this is the stuff that they came up with, because before, Bank of England had originally said they had no part to play in the ownership of slaves and all of that stuff. And this research came out that yes, they did. 599 people were transferred to them, and they did not release them. And everybody is upset. So if people didn't know about it, now they do. The Ambassador Ollie Gill, chairman of the Grenada National Reparations Committee, said, "This exhibit at the Bank of England Museum in London brings home to us now, if we were not aware of it before, the exploitation of Grenada as a colony of Great Britain and its institution, and should intensify our urgent call to action to every Grenadian to join the fight for reparations and reparatory justice for the descendants of enslaved people here in Grenada. The time has come for British government and the descendants of the British elites who benefited from the enslavement of our ancestors to own up to this heinous crime against humanity and do the right thing. Grenada is not having it." And it's so bad that, what what ended up happening, what the sort of statement that the royal family released was like, in consultation with the government of Grenada and on advice of the Governor General, the Earl and Countess of Wessex visit to Grenada has been postponed. It is understood, though, that they hope to visit at a later date. Do not count on it. This is canceled and they are not going to go back. Why? Because Grenada is not going to have it. And the Voice newspaper said, and apart from Grenada, Antigua is going to present a letter. This is another island they're going to. They're going to present a letter on reparations during the royal visit. It also goes on to say about Grenada. Prince Edward and Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, have also abandoned plans to visit Grenada after the island governor advised against it. And not only that, Nadine is also reporting that Grenada being canceled, a source said that there were concerns that it was going to be very expensive for their taxpayers in Grenada, and they were only coming for 8 hours. And you look back at Harry's relationship, how he was able to get the indigenous community a part of Invictus so that now they are working together as partners. And you see the difference with here. You're going to go to an island that is struggling financially, an island of poor people, only spend 8 hours, and they had to pick up, their taxpayer had to pay for you. And it's just like the absolute audacity. Channel 4 did an interview today and I don't remember who he is from Grenada. And he was talking about the same thing. How dare they, decide to just come, you come, you have money, you should be paying for your own trip. You come and you leave them with the bill. And he said this, he said, anytime a member of the royal family steps foot on the soil of any Caribbean nation, they are setting foot on a crime scene. A crime scene that their ancestors, that was their crime scene, where they murdered our people. And I thought that was so impactful. Because that is the thing, especially when you saw what Kate and William did when they went to Jamaica and stuff like that and playing the drums and all that stuff. And they were there to party and have a great time without understanding that they were stepping foot on a crime scene where their ancestors murdered our ancestors. And they just didn't get that. And I think if they could, I don't know, they probably don't even care. For them, it's just, I'm just going to go to the Caribbean to celebrate to honor the Queen and celebrate and get everybody excited about the Queen's Jubilee. It is not about what they did to the people of the Caribbean. And it is just, when he said that is a crime scene, I'm like, yeah, he is so right. It is a crime scene. And even, moving away from Grenada, Nadine also said, and again, Nadine writes for The Independent. She is the race reporter for The Independent. So I depend on her a lot for especially stuff like this because she is completely on point. She says, Antigua and Barbuda's Reparation Support Commission, a government appointed body, will present an open letter calling for slavery reparations to Prince Edward and wife the Countess of Wessex during their upcoming visit. So they're also going to get a letter. I think the whole Caribbean is now unified. It's like, you're not going to come to our island and just come and party. You're going to have to face the fact that, the same thing. We want an apology, we want ownership of what y'all did to our people, and we want reparations. Not only are they going to present them with the letter, Omid Scobie is reporting that Antigua will publish the open letter. So I look forward to reading when they publish it, whenever it is that Sophie and those guys get there. That they are going to publish the letter. And CNW Networks report says the chairman of the Antigua and Barbuda Reparation Support Commission told the local radio he will use Edward and Sophie's visit to present a letter on slavery reparations. So yeah, they're going to use them to get their word out and get their voices heard. Good for them. So good for the people of Antigua. I don't know if there's going to be protests. The thing that I heard about Grenada, along with them like, no, you do not come, is that they were, the royal family were afraid of the protests because apparently in Grenada, they were organizing for protests. So, the royal family don't want anything to do with people protesting them. So that, could have been a part of why they canceled the tour, apart from the fact that Grenada was not going to pay for it. St. Vincent also has an issue. St. Vincent's prime minister's like, I'm out of here. I'm not going to stay there. Prince St. Vincent's prime minister, the prime minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonzalez, will not be present to meet Prince Edward during the royal visit after experiencing some pain in the right side. And not to laugh, maybe the man is absolutely experiencing pain. But I just think it's like, that timing is a little curious. But hey, look, if he is experiencing pain and it is absolutely real, yep, definitely go take care of yourself. And instead, he will attend a medical appointment, not in St. Vincent, mind you. He's going overseas. Apparently, he went to, he's going to be in Venezuela, taking care of whatever it is that's causing him the pain in the side. Which I might add, that pain in the side could be the royal family, that, whatever. But it's just very interesting. So I guess his lieutenant is going to, is going to be greeting Sophie and Edward. And I was a little irritated with seeing what the lieutenant or the second in command was saying, like, oh, when they come, there's going to be a celebration of our culture and all. And it's just like, I'm just like, stop, stop bowing down. It's just very irritating watching that. But it's just interesting. The prime minister's like, I'm out of here. I'm not even going to a doctor in my own country. I'm going to Venezuela to get my side pain taken care of. So yeah. And and not only that, St. Lucia is not having it either. St. Lucia is like, the St. Lucia National Reparations Committee has said the royal expression of sorrow over slavery are not enough and demands for full apology ahead of Edward's upcoming visit in celebration of the Queen's Jubilee. St. Lucia is not having it. They said Britain, and I love that they call them out. Britain, the royal family, and the European nations that built empires off the backs of enslaved African are avoiding making full and formal apologies because they are simply not committed to atonement and repair, said a statement from the NRC that I have seen. The NRC are now calling on the CARICOM leaders to pressure the palace and 10 Downing Street like Cowfoot for apology. Now, that was the first time I ever heard about to pressure someone like Cowfoot, but hey, that goes in St. Lucia. I'm all for it. The org said that Prince Edward's visit has actually sparked the discussion removing the Queen as head of state of St. Lucia, which it welcomes. It's like, oh yeah, now that you're coming, I just remember that your mom is the head of state of my country. We need to talk about removing her. And so I'm telling you, the Caribbean, they are united in like, we are not here for your Jubilee celebration. We're not having it. You're going to have to face the fact of what you did. And I'm so happy that they are doing this. I am so happy that none of the nations are like, bowing down and not expecting them, to do something. So I am like, you go. I am proud of my people. I am so proud of my people for taking their stance. Because again, the royal family, they don't ask you if they can come. They don't allow you to invite them. They tell you they're coming and then give you the bill for their security or whatever else. And the fact that they are going to nations, poor nations that are struggling, St. Lucia struggling, Grenada struggling, St. Vincent struggling, Antigua struggling. And yet this wretched family would go there and try to cosplay, colonial era. I mean, oh my goodness. And expect people to line up. And the same gentleman who talked about, when they step foot on the ground of any Caribbean nation, it's a crime scene. He also said, the time for this royal tour is over. They even showed a picture of back in the day where, school children were lined up in Grenada when the Queen, I guess, was visiting. And he's like, the time for that is over. And somehow that message from the last royal offensive tour, that somehow didn't cut through. Somehow. And here we are again at part 2. It's like, oh, my Lord, people. So, but thank you so much, Naughty Doctor. In a little break here. Thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. And so, yeah, let me see what you guys are saying. I'm a little worked up. I get a little worked up about this. Let's see. Living the Triangle lit. I just love this lit. She said, according to Troella, the Commonwealth loves the Queen and royal family and are being deprived the opportunity to enjoy and share the fluffies of the Jubilee. Yes, Miss, what's her name? Troella Angela Levin. I saw there was a clip. Actually, Nadine White had a clip because Dr. Shola was had a back and forth with Angela Levin about this issue where Angela Levin, she's like, but the people in the Caribbean love the Queen, and it's you don't want to deprive them of the opportunity to. And she is all fluffy, and Dr. Shola is like, excuse me, that is what you want. You don't have the right to tell the Caribbean people of the Caribbean how they should respond to the Queen coming there and, doing their little Jubilee thing, when for the people of the Caribbean, they are telling you they are seeking reparative justice. They are seeking apology. They are seeking reparations. This is not the time for me celebrating. And it's just, oh my goodness. The attitude of British people, like, for some reason, they think the, black and brown people, that what we need in our life is the magic dust of the white royals coming to our country and waving the little British flags as they, drive through our towns with their, in their open cars, with their white gloves, and we could sit there waving flags and gawking at them. And it's just like, that is what they really believe, that black and brown people, and these people in black and brown country, that's what we want. And that's the only thing they're willing to give. They will not give an apology. They will not take responsibility for what their ancestors did, and for the fact that they're still benefiting from that. But they think we should accept them coming to our country, eating our food, dancing to our music, enjoying our culture, and leaving us a bill, and we should be grateful because they came and smiled and waved and sprinkled their royal dust on us. That's what they think we deserve. Angela Levin is Jewish. I said it before, when this girl had posted it on Twitter. She's like, if the descendant of Hitler were to be here, if we knew the descendant of Hitler, would you imagine the people of Israel accepting this descendant of Hitler to come to their country, eat their food, dance to their music, soak up their culture, and never apologize, never take responsibility for Hitler, what he did to over 6 million Jews, never honor that, and they should be grateful that the descendant of Hitler came and smiled at them? Would Angela Levin, would she be okay with that? Because she is Jewish. They wouldn't want that. There would never be a situation where Jewish people would allow that scenario to happen. But yet that is what they expect black and brown people to accept in the royal family. They don't want it for themselves, but We don't have anything better to do with our day but to, sit there smiling and waving at white royals going by. And that is the mentality. Camilla Tominey did an interview. That's the same thing she said. She couldn't understand why people in the Caribbean is, making a fuss about, reparations, because it's like, what? The Queen has done so much for the Caribbean. She's always been there. She always goes there. And it's just like, woman, just sit down and shut up, So, but anyways, let's see what others are saying in the chat about this. Oh gosh, yes, Donna, I saw this picture and I screamed. I wanted to scream. I'm like, what are you doing? There was a picture at Kensington Royal, apparently, and I don't know if you guys follow them, but apparently the photographer who did the photographs of them on their tour, took this picture, and apparently it was on Kensington Palace page of this woman, and I don't know, Donna, is it Jamaica she was, or Bahamas, wherever she was, kissing William's hand, and William is grinning to the max at this black woman kissing his hand. And it's so funny because, of course, a very creative squaddies, someone put that picture and put all these pictures of Harry kissing black women's hands, and to show the difference. And it's just like the fact that they don't even see how bad that looked. They don't even get, still to this day, even after what happened in the Caribbean, to this day, there are no light bulbs on in Kensington Palace. It's like a dark place. Nobody has it's like they don't have the common sense of a pea. If peas had common sense, maybe of a fish, whatever. But fish have common sense. They just don't have any, and it's just unbelievable to me. But yes, that is oh my gosh, my heart sank. It sunk when I saw that. I was just like, oh my God, no. But yeah, some of us are like that. Some of us are still back, our minds are still back in those days, especially the elderly in the Caribbean. I mean, that's how they were raised, and they still have that slave mentality, and it's very, very, very sad to see. Let's see. Hi, Sistren. Sistren says, Sistren is talking to Valerie, and I just jumped into your conversation. She says, Jamaica PM fired the languages on TV. The royal family got wind of the massive protests that were planned in Grenada and were afraid that the Grenadian PM was going to do the same. Yeah, that's what I heard, that there was going to be a demonstration. There were going to be a protest about it. And that's, obviously because they want the perfect pictures. A bunch of protesters going after them is not going to be where they want to be. As you saw when they did it in Belize, they quickly canceled and went to another area in Belize. So this one, they just canceled the whole country, cancel out of the whole country, and claim they will go at a later date. Don't expect to ever see Sophie and Edward in Grenada. Don't expect to see any one of them in Grenada ever. So yeah. But let's see. Oh, hi, Lit. She said again, we are to forget the brutality of slave owners and the robbery and displacement of millions of people who had their culture forced on them. Several forms of yes, RPRY. Yes, let's not say that. I wouldn't say that on YouTube, because they will penalize me, unfortunately. You can abuse Meghan here, but you can't really speak the truth about these things, because why? They will penalize. Don't ask. I don't understand YouTube. I don't really understand it at all. Let's see. Let's see what else is happening. Cookies and Cream. Hey, Cookies and Cream. She says the Cabbage's ludicrous failed tour knocked them off their pedestal. They are unable to recover from it. That's good for them. Now it's the whoopers' turn to be embarrassed. The whoopers' turn to be embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, there was a picture of and it was part of the episode actually. I actually recorded this whole episode before, and then at least this part of the episode with the Charmless tour, and then there was too much editing to do, and I was like, let's just include it in this and then just do it over. But yeah, there was a picture of them at some engagement that this organization raised about $300 million, and that is exactly why they picked that organization, because one, the organization is raising funds for Ukraine, and they want to, they want their name connected to that, and they want their name connected to an organization that raised $300 million, even though they had nothing to do with it. It was that organization and 5 other organizations that come together and raise that money, but they were there. And there was this picture of Kate looking like every part of her was like, get me out of here. She looked so bored. William looked like, it's like, duh. It was just like, and I can't believe, I'm like, who is your social media person? Why they would choose those pictures? And, on the other hand, I'm like, thank you, because now we know how they really feel and how it's like the pictures, and it's just like, oh my goodness, every part of them read, I don't want to be here. And it was just like, oh my goodness. And at the same time, you think like, oh yeah, what is it, an hour away from the UK, the Netherlands? Prince Harry's over there having a grand old time, and y'all are out here looking bored as heck. So. But let's see. Diane says, I pay no attention to anything at KP Royal, as I am not a member, and I'm not interested in the racist tendencies of racists on royals who own is Archie white enough, wheel or color. You're very interested. Yep. Diana's like, I'm not interested in these people at all. Anna, hi Anna. Anna says, W thinks he is the second coming of the Messiah, and Kay thinks she's the Mother Teresa. Far from it, sickos. And with Invictus being the big success that it is right now, I don't know where they go from here. I don't know where William and Kate go. I mean, the only big initiative William has is Earthshot, which we all know he stole, even though he said, oh, I was up one night and it just came to me. I'm like, yeah, sure, it just came to you. But anyways, it's like, they have to, and it's, I'm thinking, if I was in Kensington Palace's shoes, and I'm thinking, okay, Invictus is looking like it's a real success. Maybe I could try to steal some kind of attention from it or something. You know what I mean? Something, and attach myself somewhere. I don't know, because I'm thinking about it, it's like, Invictus was such a success. Where do they go from here? Because the British tabloids can only do so much to pump them up. Because the British tabloids, as we've seen, they have thrown everything, including the kitchen sink, at Prince Harry the last week and a half, especially since, with his grandmother stuff. I mean, everything. They have thrown everything. The tabloids, the television, the commentators, all those morning shows, whatever, they have thrown everything. And nothing that they have thrown have worked. And to see William and Kate and that engagement thing, those pictures, the expression on their face says everything. It's like, what do? We are lost. We don't want to be here. Where do we go? How do we get something where we at least look like we're interested or interesting? How do you compete with Harry and Meghan? They can't. So it's like, I'm like, I don't know where they go from here. I mean, if I were in their shoes, I would hightail it. I would have hightailed it to The Hague and somehow be like in that audience for the final something. I would have done something. I certainly wouldn't sit over at Kensington Palace and do nothing. But it's like I don't know, because they're not interesting people. They're not people that could that will blow people away in any way. I mean, I don't know how they come back for. I don't know how they compete with her. I mean, they can't. So again, there's so much that tabloids could do. But anyways, moving on. Talking about the Invictus Games, there are just some images that came out of that I mean, I wanted to, end this on a positive note. I just want to end it on, Shutter Island and their mess. But there are just some images that came out of the Invictus Games that I mean, look at this image. I don't know what you guys see, but maybe you can tell me in the chat now. Scroll down the chat and see what you guys see. But I just see love, respect, brotherhood. I just see I mean, it's just such a powerful image for me. I looked at it, I was like, Harry is really our light-skinned brother. And this is the kind of images that draw the whole games, and he's just so available to everyone. And just so like the soldier, the vet in the back of him just looking up at them, and it's just like, wow. I don't know, it's just so powerful. And then there's this image from today, and this is a British soldier. He's in his wheelchair, and Harry just bent his head over him, and he has his arm over Harry's head. And Misan Harriman took this photo, and he said when this happened, everyone around him started crying. And I could imagine it's such an emotional. I think from his reading his tweet, I think Harry also got really emotional in this moment. And this is a royal family member. I mean, I looked at it, and I actually even thought, I'm like, you will never ever see this kind of image from another member of the royal family. Never. I mean, the vulnerability, the humility, the love, the trust, this picture, I mean, it's just so, I don't know. Let me look at the chat. I mean, it just did something to me when I saw this picture. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down and then I'll scroll back up to see. Let's see what's up. Beverly, hi Beverly Isidore, how are you? Beverly says, Prince Harry and Meghan are the relevant ones because all the reporters want to hear from them, though they are no longer doing royal duties. Exactly, because they have something to say. When again, we did this episode where what was it, International Women's Day, where Meghan didn't post anything, and yet all these organizations were posting her quotes that she said in the past, and we posted tons of those quotes. And that is the thing, when Harry and Meghan speak, they say things that are powerful, and they whatever it is they're sharing is meaningful. I don't know anybody who can name a quote from Kate or William. Anything they've said that has been meaningful, that you can repeat, like, oh yeah, William said that, or Kate said that, or anything that they embody, that is who they are, that has been meaningful and made a real impact in someone's life. I don't know anybody who can say it, And so it is just, yeah. Hi, Lorna. Lorna says, Harry is one of us. And that is what exactly, Lorna. Exactly. And that is like been the overriding theme for when you talk to the veterans about Harry, is that he is one of us. And that's how he makes people feel, that he is one of them. And Catherine, hi, Catherine. Catherine said he is his mother's son. Yeah, exactly. Diana has literally implanted herself in her son, And it is just hi Sugar Queen. Sugar Queen says Harry is just a human being on another level. Yeah, exactly. It just, he's so vulnerable and so open and so giving. And that's why people just gravitate to him. I mean, how could you not gravitate to someone who is just so open and not afraid to share their fears and their insecurities and all of those things? They're not afraid. That's the person you gravitate to. So, yeah. Let's see. Hi, Mary. How are you doing, Mary? Oh, sorry, Mara. You were talking to Anna. She says if the Queen calls him, she knows everyone is listening. Yeah, it's so funny. Even going back to the Queen and Harry's relationship, when Harry said that the Queen tells him things that she wouldn't tell anyone else, and people were like, "How dare he say that? He is not the Queen favorite. It's Philip or whatever, Peter, that the milk one, the one who was selling milk in China. Peter, I think his name is. Yeah. He is the favorite. And of obviously Harry never said he was the favorite. He simply said that the Queen tells him things that she tells no one else. And the people arguing the same thing without even paying attention to what they're saying, the very fact that Harry was able to go to the UK, visit the Queen, nobody knows, not even the courtiers of Buckingham Palace knows. That is proof that the Queen tells him things and he knows things from the Queen that nobody else knows. The fact that he was able to do that is proof that they share things that information that nobody else has. And that is I mean, it's like, would you all please, common sense is free, get some? Please. Let's see what someone else is saying. Hi, Kate Herrera. Kate says, the only thing I know about Kate is jazz hands. Yep, jazz hands and buttons. Definitely, yes. I mean, the hands are all over the place with her. And again, that's peach thing that she does is a little, I'm not really sure what that is. Let's see. Who else is, Tupi, is it Tupi Verdum? Hi, Tupi. The royal family spent a life acting like imposters, and people said nothing. Why William and Kate want to visit an organization that collect money? That's why William and Kate want to visit an organization that collect money for Ukraine. Oh, she's asking why do they want to do it? Well, they collected $300,000. They want their name. They want Kensington Palace's name attached to that $300 million, even though they did nothing to raise that funds. Actually, it was again 5 other organizations that come together and raise that. But they want their name, and that's what they do, and that's why they are angry at Harry for leaving. They were used to taking advantage of what Harry's ideas and Harry's initiative and taking credit for it. And that's why they're angry that he has left. And so this is the same thing. They will attach themselves to organizations that are doing this so that their name will get attached to it. So yeah, that would be why they would be there. Let's see. Who else? Donna. Hi, Donna. How are you? Donna says, some deranger that I guess said that Meghan made a mistake in the way she drew the Ukrainian flag. But she is so smart. She knew the SOS signal is the upside down flag. And I saw a few people on Twitter talking about that. Yeah, apparently there was also an article about the upside down flag. And I have to be honest, for me, I didn't know that was a lesson for me to learn about the upside down flag. And I only learned about it because someone was correcting that narrative. And I was like, oh, I didn't know about the upside down flag and what that signal. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course Meghan would know about this. The SOS signal. So if you don't know, is if a country is in danger or whatever, and they want to send out an SOS like help me, they would put their flag upside down, and that's, I guess, a universal code for help. We are in danger. We are going to die. And so the flag that Meghan was painting when she was with the kids, it was upside down. So of course, I think one of the tabloids did an article about it, and I know I saw Scobie responding to it, and he's like, not you being stupid and not realizing that what the upside down flag means. So it was a lesson for me. I didn't know it either. And again, I didn't see the flag until someone was correcting the whole narrative, and that's when I learned it. So I was like, okay, that's something new I learned today. So if you didn't know about that either, that's something new you learned today. So she was doing the upside down Ukrainian flag, and it's so apropos because the Ukrainians, I mean, hello, look at what's going on there right now. They're definitely sounding the SOS. So yeah. Let's see who else is chatting. Marjorie. Hi, Marjorie. Marjorie says, William and Kate need personality. They sure do. They have been faking for long, and they can't find themselves. Bad mind and jealousy is their personality. Yeah, absolutely. And that is so sad because, I always look at, when Meghan entered the royal family, and she was just like, she was so excited because she knew the reach they had the money, they had the power, they have connections, they have all of these things. And so they had everything available to them to just, I'm telling you, they could have set the world on fire, doing the charity and the kind of impact that they can have. They have everything at their fingertips, including tons of assistants, maids, servants, all these kinds of things. How is it possible that they have done nothing, pretty much? And even if you don't have a great personality, and even if you're dull and boring, whatever, a lot of times people are willing to, like, okay, she's not the most exciting person, but at least they're doing something. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand how they could have accomplished so little to nothing, So it's, I mean, whew, yeah. And yeah, jealousy and having a bad, yeah, exactly. And jealousy will kill you every time, because you will see enemy in people that are really your friends. People that you can learn from, but jealousy would set them up as if they're your enemies, because you're competing in your mind against them in a battle that is one-sided, because a lot of times the person you're competing against don't even know you're competing against them. So it's craziness. And let's see. Mara says, Pebble, she had to use Eugenie to get him without anyone to know. She had to use Eugenie to get him without anyone to know. Oh, are you saying the Queenie her little covert thing is through Eugenie when Eugenie came to the to Santa Barbara? That could be very well true, because I'm sure all her phones may be bugged and all of that stuff, or at least people could listen in, her courtiers could listen in. That could be very well true. Because nobody knew Eugenie was coming to the U.S. until we saw her at the Super Bowl. And so maybe that's how she got word to Harry what's happening. Hey, great thinking there, Mira. That could definitely be the case. I mean, of course, why not, And so, yeah. And she doesn't have to deal with, somebody listening into her conversation or something. And Jessica says, oh, I didn't know Pedal was on. Oh, that's okay, Jessica. You're here, and, the replay is always there, so you can always check out the replay after. But I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Let's see who else is chatting that I didn't get before. Let's see. Hi, Terry. How are you? Terry says, Meghan knew what it meant, unlike the clowns who didn't have a clue why it was upside down, and all they do is criticize. I'm afraid I was one of those clowns, because I didn't know either. I mean, of course, I'm not going to, it wouldn't even have crossed my mind. But for the people who were criticizing her, yeah, of course Meghan would know because she researched all these things, so yes, of course, her and all the other squaddies except me knew about the about the upside down flag. So I will join and wear my clown face. And Joyce says, the staff is dumb too. They don't want to take a 5 a.m. emails. I mean, who would complain about 5 a.m. emails? You don't have to respond at 5 a.m. even if it comes in there. I get emails and texts all hour of the day because I have family overseas and sometimes they're in different time zone, whatever. So I never turn my phone off. You don't have to respond. If you get a 5 a.m. email from your boss, I mean, I had a boss where I had to, set a standard and for her and set boundaries, and she would do stuff like that, but I would simply not respond until a time when I am officially on duty. You don't have to respond at 5 a.m., even if you get an email, but it's just, anything to criticize. And Trish Nelly says, Pedal Peter, the milk one. Yes. Thank you. That's the one with the who was selling milk in China with images of palaces, basically signifying Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, whatever. And yes, Peter, the milk guy. Amazing. Let's see who else is saying stuff. Let's see. Miss Wise Senior. Hi, Miss Wise Senior. Miss Wise Senior says, as an American, we don't think anyone is better than we are. Meghan came to that racist family with the attitude that royals are no better than she was. And that is the thing that has ticked them off. They wanted someone who would bow to them. And Meghan is not a person that would bow to them because Meghan knows her worth. And so, yeah, Meghan knows her worth and she will not bow to you. And that is the thing. That's why, Eamon Holmes, she is uppity. That's their attitude. They wanted her to be sitting there being grateful to be, welcome to their table. And Meghan was like, you know better than me, and that's the thing that has irked the British press, the royal family, because they want to, what is it? I think it's Maya Angelou who said that, you have a problem if the only time you feel powerful is when someone else is on their knees. You have a problem when that's the case. When you are only powerful when someone is on their knees, and that is the royal family to a T. They only feel powerful when they have their relatives on their knees, and that is their problem. So let's see. It's coming up on 7:56. So let's see one more post, and we'll say goodnight after. But let's see. Joseph says, hi, Joseph Bruno. He says, the supposed irrelevant Sussexes are basking in worldwide attention and positive PR, yes, while the unroyals and tabloid back in the UK are losing their minds and choking a mouthful of karma. And yes, Joseph, that is exactly what happened, because the British press is finally realizing that when the world press is there, their voice is irrelevant. And that is the thing that they have been going crazy and throwing them, falling off and just, they have been literally going crazy with their vicious headlines at Harry and Meghan, because they know the world, when if you hear any of their videos or their interviews, whatever, like these royal commentators, the thing that they all say is, how could he give this interview to an American? It's like, is this American news outlet that Harry give the interview? They are bitter. They are angry that how dare Harry, because they still have the colonial mindset of America is one of their colonies, that America is beneath them, and how dare Harry decide to give their interview to the lowly Americans and then not give it to them, and they can't. It's like they just can't fathom why that would happen, And so now that Harry's fame is obviously worldwide. I mean, with Invictus, I mean, this is just blown through the roof, and with all the things they're throwing at Harry and not been able to, knock him off and not been able to do anything because nobody else is buying their nonsense, And so that's why they're losing their mind, because karma and the ancestors are playing, and they are no joke. So yeah, anyways, I just think it's amazing. Thank you so much, Joseph. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on a Friday night, which I thought was Saturday. I still can't get over that I thought today was Saturday. Thank you so much for hanging out and for just commenting and just indulging me in my Invictus obsession, especially, and our royal offensive tour. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, you guys who purchase the super stickers. I really appreciate it. Other ways you can support us is we do have merchandise, and so definitely feel free to jump on the link is in the description of this video, so please feel free. And also, we do have the prints on my dad's prints in the back there, bright and sprightly. You'll find that the same link. So definitely there are other ways that you can support us as well. We do have PayPal and Cash App, so that is another way you can support us. But thank you guys for all that you have done, for always, tuning in and just being so really encouraging. Can I just say thank you so much for being so encouraging? When I look at the comments, and it really helps. This, doing podcasts and stuff could be a lonely experience, especially when you're doing a lot of editing and all of that stuff and a lot of research. It's a lonely life. And so I really appreciate your support and just the kind and encouraging words that you share with me and share with us, with Pamela and I. And I'm so grateful for this community. And I just want you guys to know that I appreciate every single one of you so much. So thank you. And I hope you guys have a great night. And I will most likely see you tomorrow with, maybe probably a complete wrap of Invictus or whatever else I see going on in the world between now and tomorrow. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Church Nelly and Lydia, for being amazing moderators. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. And I will see you tomorrow. And B10, did I even say hi to you, B10 Power? I don't even think I said hi. Oh, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late." Hi, let me say hi to my friends that I did not get a chance to say hello to. Kate Herrera, Lorna. Let's see who else. And I think I said hi to Anna before. Let's see. Oh, Anya 13. Hi. I definitely said hi to Beverly, Donna. Let's see who else I didn't say hi to. Deidre, I didn't say hi to you. Hello there. Hi, Daniel Medical. I did say hi to you earlier. Lottie G. Let's see. CSC. Hi. And let's see who else I didn't say hi to. I think, yes, I definitely said hi to Mawai Senior. Hi, Movo. Hi. Let's see who else is in the chat that I didn't say hi to. Raven. Oh, Raven. I didn't even realize. I didn't scroll down far enough. I thought I did. But hi, Raven. How are you? And Vinny Blair. How are you? And Marjorie. Yeah, I think I got everyone else. And thank you again so much. And I'm going to, let's get out of this with some music. Let's do some music. Get the music up here. So you guys have a fantastic night, and I will see you tomorrow.